We are getting tougher as a team. I think that's the one thing I certainly learned. Two good teams that we played, two close games, and one game we closed out and won. The other one we had a chance to win and we didn't. But in the same breath, I loved our toughness over the course of the weekend. Both these teams had a lot of size, a lot of strength, very good athleticism, and the battle throughout I thought was really good, and I think it's going to prepare us tremendously as we now get into the GLIAC season. Those two teams that we played are top tier, in my opinion, what would be in the GLIAC teams. So I really like how the preseason went in that, we got to see some great competition and prepare us for what we're going to see as we continue into the league season.
What was that, the tip-in play for Friday? Was that a design play?
No, that was a miss by Nava, but Zay was there and was able to corral it and tip it in. He's playing exceptionally well right now, but he's had some key winning play moments, and that was just another one. I mean, even in the Gannon game, was able to corral an offensive rebound, and we hit a three to put us up late in the stages of that game. So he's really played well.
Trevor was talking about how he sees the season as there's the non-conference as the first part and the GLIAC as the second part. Do you look at the season the same way?
Absolutely. I think always with your conference schedule, that's the meat of what you want, right? I mean, we all are gearing towards, okay, now it's the proverbial, everybody's 0-0, but now through the course of these 20 games, where are we going to go? What are we going to do? Our team has been geared towards that. We've talked about that since September. And it's not like the preseason games don't matter. Of course they matter. Every time you touch the floor, it matters. But now these games are in scenarios where the standings go up every week of who's the winner and who's the loser. And at the end, where are you going to be in the GLIAC standings?
You haven't really talked much about Eddie this year, but he's had a couple games where he's either started or came off the bench and had a couple big games. What have you seen out of him so far?
I mean, in the last 3 weeks, he's played amazingly well. I mean, I just seen progression. The last time you guys saw him play, it looked a little nervous. Didn't really play all that well, but he's really adjusted into his role. He's now a double-figure scorer for us. And what I'm impressed with is, his assist-to-turnover ratio is a huge positive. Again, in that game, had a couple of huge assists for buckets. Can't really guard him in the interior because he's so big. So we're posting him up more as a 2 and a 3 guard because most of the matchup he's getting the third best defender on the other team, and he's really been able to go to work against those guys.
What do you expect out of Northwood?
This is an improved team, very different from last year. They were guard orientated, shot a lot of threes. This is a team now that with some new players, a transfer and a big freshman, are way more interior dominated. Really try to pound the ball in the post. And they've had some nice success early in the season. Beat Indy at Indy, and then just played Findlay last night, and it was a close game all the way throughout. And, Findlay's a perennial top 20 team. So a much improved team that will come in here and I think give us a whole lot of trouble with their bigness inside.
What about Saginaw on Saturday?
Saginaw, it will be a very different team from what you guys have seen in the past. When you remember the past couple of years, Turnage, Bozeman, very big, strong, athletic. They are in more of a rebuilding phase right now, and they've gone from that big size to really a guard-orientated team that was really trying to play more up and down the floor. So it's kind of interesting, right? You have two teams that are very different from where they were last year at this time.
As we asked Troy, we kind of figured out your rotation yet.
Closer. We're about 11 deep, and we will certainly go into this game at that depth ratio. We're still trying to figure out, the positives and negatives of different combinations. One thing, Dolapo continues to play really well. I know he leads us in points per minute, and is a dominant low post threat. So we got to find him a little more time. But again, it's it's that competition. There's plenty of players, and we're trying to figure out how to take that 200 minutes and make us click as well as we can. So we have the players who want to play, but rotation-wise, I think we're still a work in progress.
Where's Miles at in terms of his development? Because I don't know, not much on the offensive side, but it seems like defensively, he could really be that rim protector that you guys need.
Yeah, he's made good strides. His strength is a little better. In the St. Rose game, he has 5 block shots, and really dominated the paint. But then we get to the Gannon game, and they have a very, very good post player, and he got it took into him a little bit. Nice to see him in that game have a couple of back to the basket plays that he was able to finish. So again, we're continuing to see him, and hopefully see him develop more into the consistency that we need out of him.
Are there any issues with Jordan Perez, just because it's his senior? You kind of think he'd be playing a lot more minutes. Anything that you can reveal?
Well, I mean, I think right now, Jordan again will get some more minutes. But in the same breath, I think you have to look at kind of the dichotomy of the team. And right now, quite frankly, there's a lot of players that are playing well. I mean, we have 5 guys in double figures, and so he's adjusting to that role, and hopefully him being able to really be that spark off the bench is what we need out of him. And he's done a nice job of that in a few games. And I think as he becomes more comfortable with that, certainly be able to see maybe his scoring go up. But again, I think a lot of things he's doing are not really in the box score. But again, I see him being an integral part of how we go about the season and as the season goes through.
And you're back at home, and it seems like over the last couple of years, the community has really rallied around the guys, and vice versa. The guys are really getting involved with the community. How important is it for you guys to get back in the day?
Oh, it feels good to be home. I can tell you that. As we have built this thing, I think that's the one thing that I've really enjoyed seeing is the community coming out. And it's a twofold thing. I think our guys do a great job of getting out there themselves. But, man, it makes a world of difference to be able to actually play in front of some fans. And, I mean, that's the one challenge always at this time of the year. With everything going on, I think sometimes people forget that college basketball has started. And so what a great time this week to actually get out here and watch some good quality basketball. These are going to be 2 great games. And then with the women, I mean, with the double headers, I think it's going to be an opportunity to really see some exciting basketball.
Thanks, Bill.
One last thing before you guys go, just so I can put that plug in. Yeah. This Saturday, we have Gene Summers Appreciation Day. Gene is a legendary player here at NMU. He number retired. I think holds about 3 or 4 of the scoring records here, All-American. He's coming up from Flint for the day. We'll honor him at halftime. We also are having a luncheon in his honor after the women's game at the University Center at 3:15. So again, it'd be great if we could have, especially the community people that remember Gene or have heard of Gene, to come out and support. That would be outstanding.